All right, we will welcome the manager of the San Francisco Giants, Bob Melvin, and we will start with Andy, about 5 rows back on your left, Bob.
Hi, Bob. Jordan mentioned that you had a chance to tell a few Willie Mays stories and hold a little meeting with the team. I mean, the news of his passing happened right before the game started Tuesday. You never really had a chance to talk to the team. How much did that mean to you, and what did you hope to convey?
Just how special he was, not only just, in baseball, but just in life in general. And what he meant to me, and what he meant to the team, what he meant to the Bay Area, what he meant to baseball. He's a true icon in the world, and just wanted to share a couple stories and open the floor if anybody else had anything, and how special it is to be here playing on the field that he started his career on.
Other questions for Bob? We'll go to standing on the riser, Bob, in the back right.
Bob, you grew up in the Bay Area, and then you got to spend some time with the Giants as a player, and obviously now as the manager. I'm wondering how your view of Willie changed from when you were a kid to being part of the organization, and what he really meant to you.
Well, I mean, he's the reason I probably like baseball, love baseball as much as I did. I was at a young age when I first started watching baseball, it was Willie. So whether it was on the radio, on TV, any time that he came to the plate, you stopped what you were doing. Anytime you had a chance to watch him, and I went to Candlestick a lot as a kid. I was there for his 3,000th hit. And then I grew up one town over from him. And, we'd ride our bikes over in his neighborhood and wait for him to come out and, wave to us in his pink Cadillac. And, so he was a big part of my youth. And then when I got to the Giants, I was able to talk to him. I lockered right next to him. He was there quite a bit, and just he's meant a lot to me over the course of my career and my life.
We'll stay there, one spot over.
They say this field is the holy grail of baseball, and just what the MLB was able to do to pay tribute to the Negro Leagues. Just what was your impression walking out to the field the first time and being able to see what was done here?
So I played for parts of 3 seasons in AA. So I've been on this field before, and 40 years later, coming back and taking a look for the first time I got goosebumps. So, and I have much better perspective now than I did when, I was playing here just in AA. You're playing, you're trying to survive, you're trying to make it to the big leagues. You kind of know the history of the Negro Leagues and what transpired here, but the perspective I have now is immense. So it was a whole different feeling, and being able to walk out in that field today and take a look was one of the cooler feelings I've had in my career.
Seated in the last row, Steve.
Thanks for talking to us. What do you think is the message being sent out to baseball fans tonight? And is there a message here that goes beyond the sports world in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, this is a signature game, probably in, one of the signature games in baseball history. So being able to celebrate, and now we're celebrating it more with statistics mattering and a much more awareness of, what happened here in the Negro Leagues and the great players that played it. And for us, it's about Willie and where Willie started. So we're the perfect team to be here and play. But I think the message is that how many great ball players have played on this field before, and, the legends of the game that have, walked this field, and, we get a chance to be on it. I think that's kind of the message for us.
The left center aisle, about 5 rows back.
Hey, Bob. We know you played here back in the minors. They put in a lot of work leading up to this game with facilities and renovations and all that. What have your impressions been of the changes here at Rickwood from your playing time?
Well, obviously not that we didn't have these clubhouses and tents and so forth back here, but just looking at the field, it's pretty pristine in what it looked like back then. The bleachers look the same, the stands, the roof in right field, the scoreboard in left field, all those things are the same. Now, there's a big, scoreboard that was put up in right center, and you see all the cameras, and I think they brought some lights in and so forth for this game. But I love the fact that it looks pretty much the same as it did when I played here. And when you talk about the oldest ballpark in the country, it should still have kind of that feel. So that's the first thing that I noticed.
The third row on your right, Bob.
Hi, Bob. What do you remember about your first meeting with Willie, whenever that was?
My first meeting was in 1986 when we left spring training. And it was my first year with the Giants. I got to Candlestick, and we had a workout before the season started, and Willie was there. And I was trying to think of something to say to him because I was just kind of in awe. And I said, you hit 660 homers with the wind blowing in fiercely from left field. How'd you do that? And he looked at me and he goes, well, when the wind blew in from left, I hit him out to right. And just showed you this perfect textbook swing of how to inside out a ball, to right field. And that to me was like, he just played the game with instinct and feel and passion. And in a day and age with a lot of analytics and exit velos and measuring everything, that's not how he played. He just played the game, with joy.
And we'll stay over there on your right.
Yeah, hey, Bob. I'm Morris from San Francisco. There's no off day. You only get today. That's all you get. If the turnaround is so quick, and you have so many years. I mean, how many years between today and the first time you were here? That's a lot of years. You get one day. So it just seems like a fleeting moment. I mean, it's kind of surreal to have so little, but so much.
Well, we knew about it. I think there was a lot of thought by everybody coming here. And I think once we actually got here and you saw what was going on and you knew kind of the spotlight you're going to be under, then it really felt like, okay, this is really, really special. So yeah, it's only one day, but it's a very special day. And I think this is one that everybody will remember over the course of their career. So I one day, I'm cool with that.
About 6 rows back on your right, Susan.
Hi, Bob. Lamont Wade said he really had appreciated you kind of going to bat for him to maybe be able to play in this game. What went into that thinking? How disappointing is it that he won't be able to participate? And how do you see his status right now?
Yeah, so look, if anybody wanted to play in this game desperately, it was him. And once he got injured, my head went to a timeline for this game because he had been talking about it for a while. So he's not 100% ready to play in this game. I think we're still at least probably a week away from him playing in it, but we were just trying to do anything we can to just get him in at bat, just one at bat in this game. So I understand that there are rules that have to be abided by. So, we just kind of we're hoping maybe something could happen differently to get him in at bat in this game. He's going to take out the lineup card today. I know it's not like playing in the game, but if there's anyone you really wanted to see play this game, it was Lamont. It's too bad that he got injured.
Do a couple last ones for Bob. Second row on your left.
Hey, Bob, I want to take you back just talking about the stadium now. Obviously, your personal experience and then coming back now. What do you see this stadium holding for the future of the sport, and how can it continue to impact the game?
Yeah, I think the MLB's done such a great job in, whether with the Field of Dreams game and targeting individual venues that mean more to the game than, just a new stadium or, going abroad or something like that. It's something that was done here historically, in our country and really kind of puts a spotlight on the past. And I think the timing of all this with, this, like I said, with statistics counting, Negro Leagues and so forth, and the players that have played here, this is the perfect time for us to play this game here.
Anything else for Bob? All right, Bob, it's great to have you back at Rickwood Field. Thanks so much. All right, Ollie, welcome to Birmingham.
Appreciate it.
Great to see you. We will get started. We have microphones on both sides of the room, and we'll start with Jeff up here. Kurt, we'll get you the mic.
Hey, Ollie, no Nolan in your lineup today. Can you just kind of run down how he's feeling this morning and where he's at right now?
Yeah, so he's feeling better. Got hit with that pitch on the inner side of the elbow. Still very sore. He's able to move it around, which is a good thing. I think it'll just be more of a day-to-day type of thing, but definitely not going to be able to go today. Yeah.
Go 4 rows back on your left.
Johnny Condon, ABC 3340 here in Birmingham. Just wanted to get your initial reaction of stepping out in the ballpark today, how cool it is, and the opportunity to get to play in this venue, the first Major League game ever played.
Yeah, super pumped about it, man. Just driving on the backside to get here and noticing how deep that wall is. The initial, I mean, it's crazy seeing 478 and just the history here. I haven't been able to fully take it in just yet. It's been a pretty hectic morning. But as soon as I'm done here, I'll actually step foot in the stadium and take a peek. Yeah.
As far back, standing on the riser.
Ryan Hennessy, NBC 13 in Birmingham. Just coming into this week, it means so much, but it was enhanced with the passing of Willie Mays. What are your thoughts going into this game? It means just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's kind of full circle. Was able to spend a little bit of time with Larry with the Giants this morning. We had an event together, and just hearing some of the stories of what Willie meant to that organization, and how he gave so much of his time, and how he enjoyed just talking baseball and just round table with the coaches. Just full circle to be able to come back here where it all started for him is a pretty neat experience, and something that I think once that moment of silence and that first pitch takes place, it'll really sink in. Yeah.
And right up front, John on your left.
John Denton, MajorLeagueBaseball.com. Ollie, back to the game.
Yeah.
As far as defense, how much we've seen Brandon take ground balls at third base. How comfortable is he there? And then having Ciani in center field with a big outfield.
Having him out there is important when it comes to Ciani. He's been doing a really nice job in center, covers a lot of ground. But specifically with Brandon, this is a cool moment. I mean, the team he came from, where he played his entire career, he's never played another position outside of short. He was scheduled to play third the other day, but we had a scratch base and moved him over. But as far as the amount of work he's put in, the last 3 to 4 weeks, he's been going pretty hard at different positions, making sure that he's ready for the opportunity. And today will be the first for it. I'm sure he'll be a little nervous, but he'll be just fine.
Go up front on your right with Katie.
Ollie, you did oh my God, it's so loud. You did multiple events this morning.
Yeah.
What did you take from those experiences, and why was it important for you to attend?
This game's going to be awesome, but getting involved with the community is equally as important. I think going to the museum and having that luncheon was cool, but the Boys and Girls Club and just seeing the sustained farming that they're doing with the hydroponics and just being able to be a part of that and unveil that for the community, and what they're looking to do there long term is just really cool. It allows kids opportunities that they otherwise might have not had, and we have a platform, we have a voice, we have the finances for it, so to be able to help however possible is I feel like our responsibility, so I enjoy doing that part of it as well. Yeah.
Standing on the camera riser to the right.
Hi, Coach. Ariel Schaefer, CBS 42 in Birmingham. This is a 3-day week event for the city of Birmingham, and it's brought so much. I guess, if there's one thing for fans or media members or even for you guys to take away from these 3 days and how important it is, what would it be?
Gosh, if I'm being honest, I wish we had an off day here to actually do more in the community prior to leaving, because just the little bit that we've been able to do, you can tell that it's been very welcoming. They've been waiting for this. They're excited about the game, but just excited for us to be kind of doing regular life with them in the morning. So I honestly wish we had a day off to do more of that. This will happen pretty quick. The game will take place. We're on a plane right after and head home. But just shedding light on the history of this field, and for people that aren't educated on it, it just gives you an open door to see, like, what don't I know about this, which is a great opportunity as well. Yeah.
Staying on the riser to your
Not
left.
sure if you talked to the players yet about the uniforms, but what's the first thought from the players and you about the throwbacks?
I have not. I threw this on 2 minutes before being carted over here. I've yet to actually peek at the uniform. Yeah, sorry.
Go back to Jeff up here.
Ollie, with the roster moves this morning, how does Kloffenstein kind of slot into what you guys are looking at? And where's Gio at right now in terms of where he is?
Yeah, when you look at the move that was made, we had a extra inning game. A lot of innings were used there. Then you had Gibby was scratched minutes before first pitch. We had to go full bullpen day there, which used up our entire pen. So we needed some protection. So that's where Roycroft goes out. We get somebody that can give us 90 to 100 pitches if in case this game gets a little sideways. It protects the pen, but you have a lot of guys down today that can't go. So we'll have to navigate that. It should be a fun one. Yeah.
Second
Gio,
row.
he's here with us, and then we'll most likely have a move at some point after tonight's game. Yeah.
Second row on your far right.
Yeah, hi, how are you? Morris Phillips, sports radio service.com in San Francisco. I cover the Giants. I got a question for you. This is so fast. Is your batting practice as long as it normally is today?
Yeah, so our regular slots are about the same. So no different on the pregame, that type of stuff. The guys will get ready the same way we would at home. Everything leading up to getting to the stadium is where there's a lot to do. I wish we had more time to be a part of it. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So you flew in, when, and how long did you have between leaving the hotel and coming to the game? Because you guys played yesterday.
Say that one more time, please.
You played yesterday. How fast? When you flew in,
Yep.
You probably didn't have a lot of time at the hotel. You come to the field. You haven't seen the uniforms. It's a very compressed schedule. I know you're not wishing. I know you're wishing the best for yourself, but you're not getting the best opportunity. You said you need an off day.
No, but both sides have the same deal going on, right? We got in last night. We actually got in a little earlier. We had time to experience dinner in Birmingham, and then this morning we had several events lined up, but still got here at a reasonable hour where we can get everything done.
Anything else for Ollie? Am I missing anybody? Oh, second row right here.
Brendan Schaefer, KMOV. Ollie, what's the challenge of balancing all of the extracurriculars going on, but also being in the midst of a spot of your season where you guys are really trying to grind in the standings and get those wins?
No, man, I don't think too much about it. We have a responsibility to do more than just play the game, and that's what we're called to do. So I see this as an amazing opportunity. It breaks up the monotony of what we normally do. So being here for one game and then popping out and having an off day, we'll reset during that off day and get ready to go again. But this will be a competitive game for sure.
Ollie, Kyle said
two last ones right here.
Kyle said this morning he felt bad about kind of leaving the bullpen out to dry. Is he available tonight? He said he was going to try to talk his way into it.
That's why I was 2 minutes late. That's what he was doing, was trying to talk his way into the bullpen tonight. He's going to go out and play catch and see how he feels. If he's cleared by medical, then that may be an opportunity there. If not, then we'll just schedule him for Tuesday. Yeah.
And we'll finish up in the second row on your left.
Coach Tim Grant from CBS 42 here in Birmingham. Would you like to see Major League Baseball come back to Birmingham and Rickwood Field for an annual game giving tribute to the Negro Leagues?
Yeah, I was actually talking to Manfred this morning about some of the other opportunities, and this is one that we're all obviously excited about, and being able to come back and have another teams experience this. We've been able to do Williamsport in London, and now that it's really cool not only for the city but for the players and the staff as well to experience it. So yes, I would definitely welcome that.
Ollie, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Enjoy today.